Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. So what we're going to be doing is we've got a little run through of some of our top tips for a game like Snowrunner, because a lot of people just get into the game, run straight out of there, get stuck, get really annoyed, and throw the controller at the wall, or just shut the game down and do something else. So what we're going to do is go through the first sort of tip that we have for you. And basically, it involves any of your scout vehicles. The CK-1500 is perfectly capable. If you've got the international, I think it's the international, Can International. If you've got that, great. That's a great all-round vehicle. Or, like you'll see, we are going to be heading off in our little Yar. Now, what we're going to do is basically we're just scouting a route. Because one of the things you want to do when you first go to a new map is scout out a route. Because one of the things you'll find is that a lot of the main roads that you want to use will have some form of obstruction, or there'll be something you have to do. So this is where your scout vehicle comes in really handy. Because one of the things that can happen is if you're using your normal sort of heavy duty trucks and things like that, you can end up, we get a little bit sideways there, you can end up getting very, very stuck very, very quickly. And especially like this main road here, we now know is covered in black ice, and the little Yar is struggling to stay in a straight line. And here we go. So we come to our first obstruction, and this is where scouting comes in really handy. Is that now we have a bridge out. So of course we want to check what the mission there is, that we've got to basically repair this bridge. So we'd need a heavy truck or a truck with a flatbed, and we would need to get planks or wooden planks to that bridge. And this is where of course you can go back and you can check into your missions. Whoops, if I went in the missions would help, or your tasks, what you need and where you get it from. So Long Bridge is obviously the one we're at, and we have to deliver 2 wooden planks to the Long Bridge that come from the sawmill. And looking at the map, of course, where we'd go from the garage that we can quite easily spawn back to, we can then head up to the sawmill, but the road that leads there is not as easy as you'd think. As we have done that one. And then of course the service spare parts are actually en route, so that part's very easy to do. But there's our first tip for you is to make sure you always scout a route when you start a new game, so you can see where you're heading to. Alright, so the next tip we've got is Watchtowers. Now Watchtowers is going to help you to see a lot of the map, upgrade points, missions, tasks, all that sort of thing, and routes. It'll pull all of the map out of darkness, so to speak. So what are we talking about? Well, basically what we're looking at is having your map looking like that. So it's all in colour, and you can see the roads, routes. You can even see when things like bridges are out and all that sort of stuff. So one thing you want to concentrate on as soon as you get to a new area, apart from the aforementioned stuff, is watchtowers. So like this, the area is in darkness. Now I am just about to hit a watchtower location here, so you'll see what happens when we go back to this point in the map, when it all unlocks. Now it has to be said that watchtowers are not in the easiest of locations. Some of them are, some of them have roads that lead to them, and there's a lot of them that don't. Like this one, as you can see, it sits on top of a hill with a load of rocks and stuff surrounding it. So if you enjoy rock crawling and you've got a vehicle that you want to take for rock crawling, that might be your thing. But for now, we're just going to get down here in the trusty White Western Star, and we're going to hit the watchtower. Now what happens is you can launch observation, and you get a lovely scenic scape of or what it's just unlocked for you, or the area it's just surveyed. And what will normally happen, like that, you've got a couple of upgrade locations now discovered. It'll also notify if you've done missions and things like that. So just in doing this one thing, we've unlocked a few locations for upgrades. So what we do is we go back to the map, and there you are. We now have this huge area unlocked, and we can also see now where the gateway to the quarry is. And we can see there's a few upgrade locations there. There's a fuel station over there, which is very handy because you will need fuel. There's also another gateway to the quarry over here. A ruined warehouse, so of course we're probably going to have to do a mission to build that back up. But as you can see, it unlocks a vast area of the map, and we do have another one down here to go and unlock. So we'll no doubt open up some more upgrades and stuff. But this is one of the main things that you want to focus on to be able to see what you're doing and missions and things, is to hit them watchtowers, but just make sure you take a vehicle that is equipped for the purpose. I mean, the White Western Star I'm using there has chains on the tyres. It's it's got an upgraded gearbox and engine and all sorts of stuff. So this is the best way to survey the area using the watchtowers, and of course, like we say, just make sure you take an adequate vehicle, because you may spend a few hours getting stuck and get very annoyed. Right, so here we are. We've basically got 3 trucks here. All of them with slightly different modifications on. So we've got Adam's truck with standard headlights to the right hand side. Now what we'll do is we'll get them to turn them on, and you can see just how poor the standard lights are, and this shows how important some of the upgrades are. So this is Adam's lights. As you can see, standard beam pattern, pretty crap. In the dark, you're really going to struggle through a forest with those. So Adam, if you want to turn yours off. Right, so on mine, I have a roof bar and standard lights, and as you can see, there's a massive improvement in the amount of light you can put down on the road and see where you're going. So obviously when you're in forest and stuff like that, this will actually help you. So as much as some of the upgrades might look good, you want to go for function over form, ideally. So these are good, but on this truck, the White Western Star, there is one that's slightly better. So Stig, if you want to turn on yours, when they come on. So Stig's lights, however, are insanely bright, because Stig has not only obviously the roof light and his standard lights, but as you can see as I pan round, he has them on the bumper too. So you get a lot of light down on the road in the dark, which is what you are actually going to need, especially when you're in things like forests or trying to traverse through some of the mud. That tends to be a bit of a pain as well. So there you go, one decent tip for the upgrades for your vehicles. Quite simply, getting the right stuff on your truck rather than looking pretty. Right, so one of the things that also is going to touch on as our next part of our tips for beginners is this: when you level up, basically you get this come up. You have been promoted. So now I've reached rank 14. Obviously, we got the rewards for the stars, which help you obviously level up, and we got a decent amount of money, which is great. So, excuse me, what we now do is basically one of the best things you could do is, as you level up, is actually upgrade your vehicle as you go, because you'll find things will be so much easier. So basically, you go back to the garage and you want to go up to your customize side of things. Now, there's a lot of stuff that as you look through will be locked, like Explore Alaska to find that item. This is obviously it's basic engine, but what we do is you go through and you find where the things are that you want to, that have unlocked for you anyway as per your level. So you can check these beforehand. Now, obviously, chain tyres are one of the things that's already unlocked on this vehicle. So what I'm going to do is switch out to another truck. And in here, if we pull, I think it's the Pay Star, and we go to Customize. I think it's on the tyres where we can now get the chain tyres on. So as you can see, we've leveled up to level 14. So this unlocks on the Pay Star the chained tyres. Now, you've got 2 types. So obviously you've got your double axles at the rear, but only the outer tyres are chained. But what you want to keep an eye on is the wheel performance part. So where it says there, as you can see, it drops to poor, excellent, and excellent for on-road, off-road, and mud. Go to chains, you've got average, excellent, good, and excellent. Now, to be honest, unless there's a massive difference in tyre height, I would say for stability, go with the wider track because you don't want to end up rolling over, as I tend to do quite a lot, and the guys like to laugh at me for that. So you can see, obviously, you've got a narrower track there, so I would say put the wider track ones on, and there you are. That's as simple as it is to upgrade your truck as you go. It will make your game so much more enjoyable and a lot easier than kind of waiting until later on, or not actually doing it when you've got the ability there to make your game slightly easier. So there you go. That's our tip on leveling up your truck as you level up. Now, the in-game trailers, as you are probably aware, cannot be sold if you're using them for an objective, for example. As you'll see here, you can pop to the trailer store, and where we are with this, the 3,700 litre fuel tanker, you can't sell a trailer because it's required for an objective. So not necessarily too much of a problem, because you're going to use it for objective, and then if it stays in the map, you've got a trailer that you can sell. So there's a nice little avenue there to make money from trailers. However, one of the other things you can do is would help if I was trying to do the right thing here. Right, so we'll just back straight into the trailer. That's fantastic. Okay, so if you go into the trailer store and say, for example, you need to repair your vehicle or whatever, or fuel it up, excuse me, as we know, so for example, like the fuel carrier trailer here, I can buy this here, and obviously it says trailers already bought, so, but you can see that the trailer can be sold. Now the trailer can also be sold if you say, like here, I want to refuel, so I'm going to tell the fuel carrier trailer to fill up the Tega, and even still I can go into the trailer store, and after I've used it, I can just sell it and it's gone. So a handy little way to get your money back, in case you thought that once you've spawned the trailer into the world, that was it, you're done for. So the next one requires you to go, which is very similar in a way, but it requires you to go back to the garage. Now in your garage, what you want to do is go to customize, and this is obviously where all your parts and everything that you put on the vehicle are. So one of the things is that you've got, obviously, like here I have two other engines that I don't need. So if you look down to the bottom right there, you can actually sell these, and as you can see, you can get a fair chunk of money back for, like there, 12,800 pounds, credits, dollars, yen, whatever. You can get it all back there. So you go out to, like, you know, like here for example, I've got two off-road gearboxes. Now the only thing that I would say as a slight caveat here is that there is the potential that I could be setting myself up for a fall where all of a sudden these parts I need to buy again because they were on a different vehicle, because sometimes it comes up saying like you've got 5 of these, you know, so like here I've got a stock medium winch and an extended medium winch. Now I'm pretty sure I don't need them, but there may be a case of they're on a different vehicle. So, but to be honest, to get rid of them, and then, you know, if you need them, buy them, you know, at a later date. But I think it's also a good way to kind of keep your garage a bit up to date of what's going on and what you've got and what you don't have and things. So you know, like in here for example, I've got 2 fuel tankers. Why do I need 2 of them for the truck? No idea. Might as well get rid of one. And that's what I've been doing recently. So I will update you, of course, if this does turn out that we have a need to go and get all the parts all over again for another vehicle. Then of course I'll update you and let you know. But so far it seems like a really good way to just make that extra little bit of money from some purchases that you may have forgotten about, or that you don't actually need anymore because you've got all the different, unless of course you're that way inclined and you want to collect every single part, then that's good for you. But I don't see the the point in having all these different versions of tyres, for example, when I'm only using one set. Maybe a set of mud tyres might be an idea, but then, you know, the Pacific P12 doesn't really get that stuck in mud, so yeah. So there you go, a handy little video just on some info there for you on how to sell things like your trailers and obviously your spare parts. Alright guys, I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it has, give us a like and a little thumbs up, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of this sort of content, and obviously if you like the content you've just seen. Take care guys, I'll see you next time. So there we are, that's the end of our tips video. Hope it's been helpful to you, and hopefully we'll start doing some more stuff like this in the future. If this has helped you, if you could hit the like button, that'd be fantastic. If you want to see more stuff like this, and obviously stay up to date with other things we do, if you want to hit the subscribe button as well, that would be even better. So thank you very much for watching guys, and we'll see you next time on the 843 Gaming channel. Take care.